Good morning. I just wanted to check in this morning with you and talk a little bit about this crazy balancing act that is Scentsy. Because I know that most of you are like me, you're trying to juggle 100 things at once. You're trying to juggle family. Most of you work full time. The Scentsy business, the husband, the extended family, the kids, the activities. It just goes on and on and on. And if you're anything like me, sometimes you get to a point and you're like, okay, stop. Something has to give. And too many times that something that has to give ends up being Scentsy. And I get it. I totally get it. I have been there. I have been there more than once. And I hated that. I hate that feeling. So I want to talk a little bit about finding some kind of balancing act. Because I hate it when I have to put something I love on the back burner simply because I didn't plan well. So let's talk about that and planning in this video. So, so many times in my business, I will get to the end of the month or the end of the week, and I'll have hit my sales goal, or I'll hit my recruiting goal, or our team will hit where it needs to be. And I feel like just a rock star in my business. And then I walk in the house, and it is such a mess that it almost makes me hyperventilate. It just makes me nauseous that it is so bad. And I look at my kids and I think, oh Lord, when was the last time I cooked a meal? Like, when did my kids eat something besides frozen pizzas or sandwiches? Or even better, eating out. And I think, oh, I'm failing. Like, I'm rocking it out in this one area of my life, but this area of family and kids that is so important to me and is my priority, I'm just totally failing at it. And so I thought, there has to be something has to give. And I know so many of you are at that spot right now where something has to give. So I want to give you just a few little things that work for me, a few little game plans, if you might say, for you to try. And don't try them all. Pick one or two things and implement them this week and see how that goes. And just because it works for me doesn't mean it works for you, but give it a try, and if it keeps working and it works great, then next week maybe take another baby step and implement something else. But I want you to take it slow. Don't overwhelm yourself. So let's start with the area that was the biggest struggle for me, and that is cooking. Let me tell you, I absolutely hate to cook. I hate it. I hate cooking. I hate cleaning up. I hate everything about it. And so it got to the point where I just wasn't doing it. And God love my husband. Like, he is the biggest blessing in my life because he just steps in and he steps up and he takes care of it. But I'm so lucky that he isn't more resentful of my Scentsy business. He's not resentful at all. But I'm so lucky because I know, especially in the beginning, so many times things that I should be handling and taking care of was put on the back burner for Scentsy. Because everything came first. I would get ready. I'd be running out the door for this party or that training or whatever and look at him and go, there's frozen pizzas, and run out the door, and it would be left up to him. And so I thought, something has to change. Something totally has to change. And so this is what's working right now for dinners in my house. It's two different things. First, I only cook twice a week. I cook on Mondays, I cook on Thursdays. Those are the two nights that I feel like I have the time to do that. So what I mean when I say I cook twice is I double cook. So say Monday night we're having lasagna. I will either make a double lasagna and put one back for a couple weeks down the road, and I will probably make double the hamburger meat. And so Monday night we have lasagna, and then Tuesday night we'll have hamburger meat ready. We can have tacos or something simple I can throw together really quick. So I double cook. I do that on Mondays and I do it on Thursdays. Another thing that I'm doing that's working great in so many areas with cooking in my life is that my kids are older. They are 14 and 11, and I have implemented a thing where each of them gets a night of the week to cook. So one night a week, not Mondays or Thursdays, Parker will cook or Kitty Grace will cook. And they are given the Sunday before I take them to the grocery store. So I'm totally making them responsible. So I take them to the grocery store. I give them $20, and they have to buy all of the food or all of the ingredients they need to prepare whatever meal it is they've chosen. And they're given a night. So, like I said, Monday night I cook. On Tuesday night, usually Parker takes Tuesday night because his sister has things. So Tuesday night it's Parker's night to cook, and he cooks and cleans the kitchen. It gives him so much enjoyment that he contributed to the family, and I think it's teaching him to budget a little bit. Wednesday nights, I am so very blessed because we have a wonderful church home, and we have youth group and Bible study on Wednesday nights, and so we usually eat at church on Wednesdays. Thursday nights, I again am cooking, and I double cook. Then Friday is usually either Friday or Saturday. Katie Grace cooks, and then I have what I double cooked on Mondays and Thursdays. I have 2 meals that I can do on Saturdays and Sundays, and usually 1 meal on Sundays. My mother-in-law, God bless her, feeds us. So that's how I'm handling cooking and keeping my family fed, which I know is totally not Scentsy related, but I had so much mommy guilt about the fact that I was working so much. My kids weren't getting to eat a meal. So that's what we're doing, and it is working phenomenal. I don't feel overwhelmed. I have something going for my kids. If they need, we can grab it. They make tacos, whatever. Spaghetti, hamburger meat ready, chicken ready. It's easy. Okay, so another thing that I'm loving, and I'm going to tell you about this app. It's called Yummly.com, Yummly.com. And like I said, I'm a horrible cook, but I can go to this website and type in, say I have black beans in the refrigerator or in the cabinet, and I'm like, what am I going to cook with black beans and chicken? That's what I got. So I can type those in, and it will pull up a recipe for me. Easy peasy. So I'm using that a lot, and the kids are using that a lot. And so, that is one thing that's a game plan that I have put into place to help the balancing act. So now let's talk about the housework and cleaning, because, like I said, I could be working, I work exuberant hours. I really do. And it's crazy. And I would go home and feel like such a failure because the house was falling apart. I would be gone for 8 hours at an event and come home and it looked like the house hadn't been touched in 8 weeks. So something had to change. So here's a couple of the things that I've been using that I really like. I use Fly Lady. If you've never heard of Fly Lady, look it up. It's FLYLADY. She is phenomenal in helping get little routines and schedules in place. I work on my house for 15 minutes every day, and the morning, and 15 minutes at night, and you would be surprised if you would do that. Just little simple morning routines and bedtime routines, how much that helps. My kids do a lot. And I know, that's such a debatable thing, but I've always felt like they need to learn. I don't want my son to go off and not know how to work the vacuum, or run the washing machine. And so my kids have chores, and we have a chore chart, and they have chores, and that is, I don't pay them for it. Nobody pays me to do mommy chores, and dad doesn't get paid to do the dad chores. So, it's just, in my opinion and Justin's opinion, it's part of living at our house. You live here, you help out, and you pitch in. So they have chores, and they know what's expected of them. And I have a cleaning lady. So I'm just going to put that out there. I do have a cleaning lady. And long time ago, I realized that was something for me. I can keep up with the day-to-day things, and the kids can keep up with their chores, but having someone come in and mop and scrub the toilets and things like that was beneficial to me. And I just decided I was going to work whatever extra I needed to make the money to pay the cleaning lady with my Scentsy. And so I just realized real quickly how much money could I make during the time I was scrubbing my toilets to pay for somebody to scrub my toilets. And it just works for me. So if that's something you can, figure out, work that extra time, make that extra money, make those extra sales, and get yourself some help. Help is a good thing, and it does not mean you're a failure. Scentsy chores. This was another thing, guys, and I've had assistants in the past, and I'm kind of a perfectionist. I realize that, so assistants were hard for me, but my kids help. This is a family business. And so the kids help, and you know, there are times that I have to pay a teenage girl from church to come in and stamp all the books or make all the samples, or you know, just that little stuff in your business that takes so much time. So I encourage you to try and, I hope that didn't cut out. I encourage you to try and get yourself some help. You know, you get lots of free Scentsy. You get free Scentsy every time you place an order. So you don't have to pay them. Trade them out. I am sure there is a mom in your area that would make samples for you for free laundry supplies once a month. Or the options are endless, really, on that. Putting stuff on my shelves, unboxing orders, things like that. Delegate, 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 delegate. And you will be a happier person in the end. Okay, so let's talk about a power hour. What I do is a little bit different than most. And this system I've been using often for probably about, 3 or 4 weeks now. And I'm going to show it to you because I love it. And I have power hours. What I do is on Sunday, my kids know on Sunday night that mom's got to go to the office and I've got to plan for the week. So on Sunday nights, I go to the office and I plan for the week. And I make a to-do list. And I will tell you my to-do list changes throughout the week. But for my to-do list, it is split into 4 quadrants. I don't know if you can see that. So I have a team slot, a customer slot, recruits, and other, which is my family stuff. And I sit down and I just try to really focus on what needs to be done this week. I look at the calendar, what's the kids got going on, things like that. So I separate my to-do lists out like that. And then I have a block schedule. I'm going to show you what my block schedule looks like for this week. So, and this is so rudimentary. Like, this is not anything pretty at all. So, just, here we go. This is my block schedule. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. Basically, what I have done is I have taken my day, Monday through Saturday, I've taken my day and broke it into hours or to every 2 hours. And then I give blocks of time to each of those lists, those 4 things in my to-do list. So, and how I choose that is on Sunday when I sit down and look at the list, say this week, for instance, I've got lots of things to do for my Scentsy team. So this week, my Scentsy team's going to get at least 8 hours of my time. So I make little sticky notes. These little things right here, they're just sticky notes I've cut up and wrote on. And I've got 8 sticky notes that say team. I've got 5 sticky notes that say customers. I've got so many sticky notes that say family time, say Justin, say Parker, say Katie. All of those things I need to do, I've got on little sticky notes. And then I sit down, look at the calendar, look at what it looks like, and I start assigning blocks of time. Now, you probably know this about me. I have ADD. So I have to have things very set, very scheduled in order for it to work for me, and this works great. So I know that tomorrow morning, when I come to my office at 10, and let me just say, I don't come to the office before 10. I'm not a morning person. Never been a morning person. I refuse to make excuses for it. I'm not going to be a morning person. And I need a little time in the morning to exercise and put my makeup on and do my devotional and straighten my house up. So those things are important, so that's what happens. Any sense? When I come to in the morning at 10, I know that from 10 to 11, I'm going to work on customer stuff. So I can come in, look at the calendar, and then I can pull this up and it says customer, and I can start working the list. So that has helped me tremendously. Now, every night before I go to bed, I review the day and what it looks like. And I look at this list and I make sure there's nothing that needs to be added. And I go and I sit down, and this is silly, but it does me like this. It's just a joy to me to get to pull the things off. Okay, so I pull these off. Now, what I love about this system is that life is messy. Life is messy. So tomorrow morning, I might get here and I might plan that I'm going to do customer stuff at 10 o'clock. And, you know, like perfect example, 5 minutes ago, I had somebody call me and say, hey, you want to do lunch tomorrow? Heck yeah, I want to do lunch tomorrow. That's why I work this business, right? So I can make my own hours. So I just take the little me time that I scheduled in later in the week, I move it to Monday, and I take that customer block and move it to that day. Perfect. Everything's getting done, and it is not that stressful. So that's what's working for me. And that's why I make sure at least once a day I have a power hour, and I can review my list. Now, where's my notes? Okay, the next thing I want you to make sure when you're looking at this is I want you to sit down with your calendar, and I want you to schedule one date night each month. Take my advice on this. This is something I never did before. I never scheduled time for a date night because I felt like I could be working. You know what I mean? If Justin's home to watch the kids, that's uninterrupted work time, and I need that time. And I never made a point to spend time with him or have a date night with him. And I'm going to tell you, my marriage suffered. You guys are so lucky to have supportive spouses. Make them realize how lucky you are, and that you know how lucky you are to have supportive spouses and how important they are to you, and schedule that out. I promise, if you make it just like your schedule where you block down, you need to have so many parties a month, you block it out. Schedule a date night and make it happen. Schedule 2 family fun nights or family picnics. You know, my kids know. It's on my calendar. I have a calendar at the house for everybody, and they know, okay, Mom's got us down on Saturday for family fun day from 10 to 2. I can't have a friend over, and Mom's not going to schedule a party over that time because that's important to her. And we're going to go have a picnic, or we're going to play a board game. It doesn't even have to be crazy expensive. Just that time with your family. We're doing this, guys, so that we can be with our family. Don't neglect them in the process. You don't want your family to be resentful of your Scentsy business. And you don't want to be resentful of your family business. Because what'll happen is you'll work your Scentsy to the bone, and then you'll sit back one day and go, that party was great and it made good money, but I missed out on this or I missed out on that with my kid. It's all about sacrifice. I know it is. And there are going to be times we have to sacrifice. But don't sacrifice your family to the point that they resent your business and you resent your business, because this is a great business and I want you with me for a long time. Love you.